Hey, it's Jenny, Fit Mom MD, and I'm super excited to talk with you tonight about something really cool that happened in my business today that was kind of a little bit of a turning point on a goal that I've been working on. But secondly, to talk about how I got to the point of this happening. And it didn't take a lot of work. It's just a simple daily habit that I've started doing. And so I want to share that with you because maybe it will help you with your goals that you're trying to achieve as well. So if you do like this type of content, please be sure to click subscribe and turn on notifications below. I will be putting out these videos once a week, every Thursday, and hopefully ramping up to, having videos even 2 or 3 times a week. So please get the word out, let people know, and let me know what topics you want to hear more about, and I'll be happy to talk about them. So with that said, let's talk about goals. So do you have goals? Do you know where you're headed in the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? Do you have a vision for your life? Have you turned that into specific dreams or goals that you want to achieve? So that's my first question to you. I want you to think about as I tell this story. And secondly, if you do have a sense of where you want to go, what does that look like? And do you actually write that down for yourself on a regular basis so that you're actually keeping it in front of you and you know where to focus? Because as we know, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time, right? And what you focus on is what's going to expand in your life. So if you want something, you got to figure out a way to get it in focus and know where you're headed so that you can get yourself there, right? So those are the 2 things I want you to think about as I tell this story. So about, I would say 9 to 12 months ago, I started a practice where I would simply write down my 10 dreams for myself over the next 10 years, or 10 sort of goals, but things I wanted to achieve or be if I look at my vision for myself in 10 years from now. And I got this from a book called Girl Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis, which is really good. And she outlines this practice. It's something that she has done. Rachel Hollis has a lot of social media content out there as well if you want to check out her stuff. Highly recommend it. But anyway, I started doing that, and I had a number of goals that I put down. And one of them that I wrote down was, this is kind of embarrassing to share, was I am a sought after mentor and speaker. And so here's the thing. I love public speaking and I love doing videos like this, and I just love sharing with people. And I had, up until that point, I don't think I'd ever fully admitted to myself or certainly put in writing that one of my dreams and goals was really to do more speaking. I think I was scared to write it down. I'm scared to tell you because it feels like I'm sort of having these like unrealistic expectations for myself, or thinking I'm so self-important, I have so much great stuff to say. It's my own imposter syndrome talking, right? But I put it down because I was like, I'm gonna be honest with myself, this is a vision and a dream that I have. So I started writing it down, and I've been writing it down every day, and I write it in that present tense of I am a sought after speaker, because we know that our brains, so your brain, your subconscious mind doesn't like the cognitive dissonance of me saying I am a sought after speaker and me not actually being a sought after speaker. So my brain does not like that cognitive dissonance, and it's going to try to work to bring me to that point that I'm stating. So I always say it in the present tense. It's much more powerful than saying I wish I was, or I'm going to be, or someday I will. So I tried to say it in that way. Wrote it down every day. As I went through this process, I'll be honest, I didn't do a lot of work on that particular goal. So part of Rachel Hollis's system, which is, it's called the Start Today Journal. She has it. I did it on my own notebook, but you can buy her notebook as well. But you go through and list those 10 dreams or goals, and then you pick one goal that you're going to work on specifically first to try to get that vision created. So I will be honest, I almost never made the speaking thing my number 1 goal. However, I did start doing these videos for content for my fitness and health coaching business that I do. And I think that subconsciously part of me realized that doing these videos was something that would start getting me sort of toward that other goal of being a speaker, right? Putting out spoken video content. And so that's pretty much the only thing that I did on that particular dream. I wrote it down and I started doing some video content for my other business. And I simply, I didn't even do that many videos, right? I just did them here and there. So fast forward, and then about a month ago, someone messaged me out of the blue and said, hey, we love watching your videos. Will you come do a talk at our retreat that we're having? And I was like, oh my gosh, someone is seeking after me to come speak at their event. Now, was it, selling out stadiums or even talking to like 100 people? No, it was a small retreat. But nonetheless, how freaking cool is it that basically what I said I wanted to do, I had this like tiny step in that direction. Someone did seek me out to come speak. And I went there today. It was great, had a great experience. It gave me the opportunity to polish a talk that I have ready to go for other speaking events. It gave me the opportunity to network and talk to people. And I shared with them that I'm looking to do more speaking. And so they can hopefully put me in touch with other people that can invite me, because I know I have to practice and get better at my public speaking if that's what I want to do. And so it was a really, really great turning point for that goal. And yet all I really did was write it down a bunch of times and do these videos. So this is what's interesting about it, if you take a step back and think about your own goals. When you have a goal and then, or a dream, and you put it in writing and you look at it every day and you take that action of writing it, what you're actually doing is you're telling your subconscious, like, this is what I want you to focus on. This is what I want you to make happen. And you're making it much more likely that you'll actually achieve it. And when I went to make this video, I thought, oh, I've been reading this in a lot of different books, not just Rachel Hollis. And I was like, what books are they? And I realized it's a bunch of them. Look. So I found at least 3. There's probably more, but it's getting late. All 3 of these books talk about this concept in like great detail. So I told you about Girl Stop Apologizing. This is Rachel's book. And then You Are a Badass at Making Money, which is a funny title, but it's great for Mindset for Everything. She has a whole chapter in here about how Jim Carrey basically decided, like, you know, that he was going to make a ton of money in as a movie star when he was starving and broke, and he wrote himself a check for that amount of money in the future, and that exact amount of money came to him. It was crazy. But same idea. She has a quote in there that says, if it's in your mind, it's in your lap. And so much of achieving your goals is about actually stating them, and then you take action toward the goal the best that you know how, even though you don't know exactly how you're going to achieve that goal. And then the universe conspires to make that goal happen for you because you're putting that out there. So this basically talks about the same concept. And then this book called No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is amazing. I found in here he has the same exact concept of writing down your 10 goals so you know that you're going to focus on them. And he actually talks about the fact that when you write down your goals, you are 10 times more likely to achieve them. So they actually did a study of people's New Year's resolutions, and if they weren't written down, people had a 4% chance of achieving them. If they were written down, people had a 44% chance of achieving them just by writing them down, because you're committing to it more and you're putting that, your mind to work on that. He also talked about the fact that 3% of people have their goals written down. And those 3% of people who write down their goals regularly make more money than all 97% of the rest of the world combined. So he's saying that basically if you write down your goals, then you can put yourself in line to be one of, gives you a greater chance of being one of the very successful people. Does it guarantee it? No, you have to take action, you have to do follow through. But it starts by writing it down. That increases your likelihood by, tenfold or more. So it was just interesting to me. I was like, well, not only have I read it in this book, but I've read it in lots of books, probably in even more of these books you see back here. So, all these people probably know what they're talking about. And I don't know what's going to happen with my goal of being, doing more speaking, but I do know that I'm a lot closer than I was before I started doing that practice. So let me know if that's helpful. Let me know if you're going to start writing down your goals, or what's a practice that you can take away from this that would be helpful. I'd love to hear below. Will you get Rachel's book? Will you do the Start Today journal? Will you just decide on a goal that's most important to you right now? I'd love to hear. I'd also love to hear if there's other content that you guys would enjoy hearing from me. So please let me know that below. And of course, if you would like me to come do a speaking engagement, I am looking to do more of that. And also, if you're looking for any coaching or mentoring, I'm also here for you. And the information to contact me is, of course, below. So I hope you have an awesome, awesome weekend. And please let me know if you have any other topics you'd like me to share about next week.